Okay. We're trying to get her back on board for the next, I think she's almost done with her session. So like I said earlier, if you have questions for either of the sections we had earlier, that of Barrister Onifade and the ongoing session of Mrs. Adeinka, just prepare your questions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to pass this information across to us. All right, information reaching us states that she's done with her session. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, can we please put our hands together for Mrs. Adeinka Igbin Oba for that very brilliant session. So do we have questions? Questions and answer? Okay, there's someone over there. Okay. I don't know. Would you like to step forward? All right, please, can we appreciate him? Can we appreciate him as he comes up stage for his question? Yes, please come, sir. For the first session or the second session, sir? Generally. Yes. All right.
Good afternoon. All protocol are duly observed. My name is Prince Adegoke Kehinde Moses. Let me go straight to my points. I don't want to waste most of our time. My question is this. When the Barrister Onibade was speaking, I think he highlighted some points that affect real estate. But I want to ask this question. What strategic initiative can be implemented to promote sustainable real estate development and investment in Nigeria, considering economic, regulatory, and infrastructure challenges? This is my question. I don't know. I would like to.
All right. Pardon me, sir. Pardon me to take just 2-3 seconds of your time. Ladies and gentlemen, we have in our midst the Right Honorable Speaker of Osun State House of Assembly. Can we please put our hands together for Mr. Speaker as he joins us? All right. Hold on. Apologies. I would like you to take that question again, but we're just trying to observe protocol. Ladies and gentlemen, we have joined us Right Honorable Wale Egbedu. Please, can we put our hands together for the speaker? If you can stand, I would like you to please give him a standing ovation representing the Osun State government. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Right Honorable Wale Egbedu, the Speaker of the House of Assembly of Osun State. Thank you so very much for joining us, Mr. Speaker. We do not take your presence and time for granted. Thank you so very much for coming, Mr. Speaker. All right, thank you. We can have our seat. Thank you. Apologies to have caught you. I would like Engineer Adeleke Adekola to please pay close attention to this question you'll be answering. So can you take the question again? Sorry.
Sir, good afternoon again.
Engineer Adekola, please pay
Prince Adegoke Kehinde Moses.
All right.
I'm also a member, or one of the executive member of Association of Real Estate Manager and Consultants. I'm the MD and CEO J3 Real Estate Consult. And this is my question again. What strategic initiative can be implemented to promote sustainable real estate development and investment in Nigeria, considering economy, regulatory, and infrastructure challenges? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Noted. Thank you very much. I want to believe Engineer Adeleke Adekola took note of that question. Thank you. All right.
At this juncture, we would like to bring our speakers up stage. It was an oversight on our side earlier. So our speakers are supposed to be sitting on this side of the stage. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me one of our speakers for today, Mr. Adeleke Adekola Abdulmuji. Please a round of applause for him. Please
Put
a
your
better
hands
round of
together
applause
for
for him.
Engineer Dr. Adeleke Adekola. Please put your hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen. And he would be addressing the topic, the current state of real estate in Osun State and its potential for transformation to drive global development and infrastructural growth. Once again, ladies and gentlemen.
I also put our hands together for Mr. Dauda Oladele. Please a round of applause for him. I don't know if he's in the house yet. Please, would like to have you on stage, sir. Please a round of applause for him. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. We are delighted and honored to have you in our midst. Please put your hands together for Dr. Ajayi Amos. Please a round of applause for him. So he will join us duly when he's around. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate your presence and we don't take you for granted. We would like to know if there are other participants who have questions to ask. And for the next round of questions, please, you don't need to leave your seat. You can ask while you're there. Someone will pass the microphone across to you. So any other person who wants to ask a question? Okay, so we have 1, 2,
All right, I think
three.
we have 3 persons. Okay,
Four.
wait, 4. Okay. So let's just take the 4. Okay, 5. Thank you.
Check.
All right, so we have our speakers here to note the question. So please kindly proceed.
Good morning once again.
Morning.
All protocol duly observed. My name is Rashid Abdullah Adigun from Stark Electrical Engineering Building Technology. As the first speaker said, the police are not legally allowed to intervene in land disputes and real estate management disputes. Henceforth, all issues ought to be directed to the civil court. Now, I mean to ask, how is an individual involved in a land dispute, maybe through the real estate management, or through an individual to an individual, maybe a party involves the police in the issue? How is the other party ought to approach the issue to avoid the police interfering illegally into the dispute?
All right, noted. Thank you very much. Can we have the second question?
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
I'm Ibrahim Adias from Machos Real Estate. My question for the first speaker is concerning the Omonile issue that is rampant in Osun State. I would like to reference Lagos State, for example, during the Governor Ambode's era. He scrapped out the Omonile issue where you can develop your property, your landed property, anytime you want without having any issues with Omonile. Now in Osun State, some properties even need to be, will I say, reconstructed. But the fear of having issue with people coming to the site managers or engineers asking for money before you can develop your property has become a rampant issue in Osun State. So my question to the first speaker is, what can they do from the government's point of view to help real estate developers with this issue? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Noted. All right, 2 more questions. All right, thank you.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Lukman Ugwale. So I would like to ask the first speaker, in terms of governments acquiring lands for public purpose, and at the end of the day, they won't make use of the land, and it will actually be lying fallow there. So what is it that can be done? Because that's actually rampant in Osun State here. We have seen instances where all those lands are saying it's for government, they want to use it for one thing or the other, and it's not being used of. And there's a need to develop lands in those areas. So what can be done, or what is being done to eradicate something like this? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Noted. I think that'll be all for now. Okay, thank you. That'll be all for now. All right, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go to our next speaker, who will be speaking for the next few minutes on the topic, the significance of law in the context of national development. I would crave the indulgence of Mr. Dauda Oladele to please rise while we take his citation.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are still live at the Osun Global Real Estate Conference, and now I will be reading the profile of Mr. Dauda Oladele. He is the MD and CEO of IBBDS Group of Company and Executive Director, Core Bank Nigeria. Mr. Dauda Oladele is a country representative, Goyum Group India and SRN Group Malaysia. He is a well-trained banker with experience spanning across banking operation, retail and investment banking. He is a certified management consultant and a CCIP certified business service professional. Mr. Dauda Oladele, through his company, has helped over 400 small and medium enterprises to revive, grow, and expand across Nigeria, particularly Osun State. He has, through his company, brought direct investment of over 25 million USD to Nigeria, with a larger part of the investment in Osun State. Mr. Dauda Oladele is happily married with children. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please with a round of applause, please welcome Mr. Dauda Oladele.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I want to stand on existing protocol. I'm so sorry if my voice is breaking somehow. I think I have been stressing myself for. I came from Kayama, a Dulu local government of Kwara State yesterday, and it's about a 10 hours journey, and I have not rested. But I have to be here today because my brother, that is organizer of this event, is a very good brother, and to mark his birthday today, I think it is special to be here, and I want to say happy birthday to you. Having said that, I want to stand on the existing protocol, having recognized everybody that needs to be recognized, from our speaker, Right Honorable Wale Egbedu, to all the commissioners that are here, and every other person. I hereby stand on the existing protocol. I think the topic given to me was different from what is read out. I think the topic given to me is to speak on financial setback, experience in state economy, development, and possible solution. I think that's what I'm supposed to speak on, if I'm correct. Okay? In doing this, I want to bring to our notice what financial setback really is. And in the course of my interaction here, I also want to be able to highlight the causes of financial setback, particularly in state economy, and then the effect of financial setback, and some recommendations that I can give, and conclusion. I'm not a slide person, but as the organizer want to have it, so I've shared the slide with them. Financial setback in state economy. This is my own definition. I'm not doing any textbook definition. Financial setback in state economy could be referred to as unviability of financial activities in the state. And then this could be caused by so many things, more particularly about the economic activities that is happening around the state, and so also the availability of funds, the number of funds that is in circulation of that economy. And what are the major causes? What are the major causes? So many issues are in Nigeria. I was speaking, I think maybe last 2 weeks in one forum, and I said that for me, I always see opportunities in Nigeria. The jackpot syndrome that we are doing now, I don't know. For me, I don't think if you are living where there is problem to where there is already solution. That place where you get there, there is already light, there is already water. There is what solution do you want to go and provide there? You just want to go and be a job seeker that is just round tripping the system. But here there is a problem. There is no power. So if you can think outside the box and see, even if it's a solar solution you want to be is the solution you are providing to solve power problem, you are going to have your own way and you are going to create a niche for yourself. If it is water sanitation you want to do, even if it is the number of children that is out of school, there are many problems here. And where there is problem, there are definitely opportunities. And that is what I see in Nigeria. More particularly, I was speaking yesterday when we were having a very short interaction with the event organizer. I said in Osun, I beg to differ when they say Osun is a civil servant state or is an agrarian state, so there is no money. So where are we seeing money to build all those structures that we are seeing? Who are building them? If there is no money, I beg to differ. And I gave quite a number of reasons for that. But having said that, the reasons or causes for financial setback in state economy, I categorize the causes into three. Number one is the economic instability, and second is political instability, and third is global effect. On economic instability, we have today states over reliance on federal government. We always wait for handout. The monthly allocation from federal government. State governments, most state governments always wait for that. I particularly give glory to Osun that the IGR is becoming, is improving gradually. I think we are in 14 billion last year. I don't know. It was 14 billion last year. I don't know what we have now, but it shows that they are bringing more people into the IGR net. And then unfavorable SME friendly policy. I want to use Kwara and Osun as an example. I am a practical person when it comes to SME in Osun. By whatever standard you can measure it. It is not a gainsaying to say that if I said my company has touched over 400 medium, small business providers in Osun. Some of my clients are here. I've greeted some, and they can testify to that. And I know because I consult for them, I know their challenges. I am also a practical person because I also have my factories in Osun. I have 2 other businesses in Osun that I'm also running. So we know those challenges. And one of it is the unfriendly SME policies. I'll give you an example. There is a line, there is an arrangement between Bank of Industry and the state government during the era of Aregbesola. Yeah, Aregbesola era. That any viable business that want to do business in Osun and require a CFO that comes to BOI to apply for a loan, the governor should give an express approval. It happened during the Aregbesola era. When it comes to, I'm not a politician, and I'm sorry, I am a practical person. I'm just saying what is happening. So I don't know if it is APC or PDP or SDP or whatever P. I am only saying what the business owners are facing in Osun. And Right Honorable Speaker, you are in our circle. You are youth like us. We are expecting a difference from you. Some of us are looking at you from afar. We will support you with whatever we can support you. But we don't want you to turn to be part of those old people. Having said that, that structure, I think it worked a very little bit during Oyetola's regime. But today now, I don't know how many CFO our governor has signed. This is 1 year down the line. And how do you expect somebody that is doing business, genuine business, that want to take a loan? We have bankers here that want to take a loan to be able to access finance without collateral. How? So, look at Kwara State, for instance. They have done a legislation to, instead of governors signing, for whatever reason, if there are areas that government are interested that they don't want to release that, they can segment those areas. But for ease of doing business, you can give the right to the small magistrate court to give right of occupancy. With RFO, they can go to the bank and collect whatever they want to collect as loan and use it as collateral and go on with their businesses. I'll give you another practical example. Like one of the speakers said, I am building a factory along the Ikiru Road. When I was acquiring the property of that factory, I actually acquired property that has a CFO. On building, on getting to where I want to get an approval for that property, they said it is under government acquisition. Okay, no problem. It's under government acquisition. I don't have issue with that. What am I going to do to check out of the government acquisition issue? They said they have to bring the thing back and buy the property back from the government. In process of buying back from the government, the property that I bought about 15 million, I'm still going to spend extra 17 million. If I'm not a serious person that wants to do that business, I'd rather check out of this state and go to somewhere else where their condition is more favorable. In that area of ease of doing business too, my company brought in, I think about 5 investors in veg oil industry now, but I want to talk about particular one. And why am I saying this? Is because I see you on our commissioners on ground. During the last administration, I think they did one economic summit in this place too, so which brought in some investors. One of them particularly is my client. I poached him from Ivory Coast, and he's ready. He came in with $2 million to invest in the state, and he wants to do ethanol. He wants to do cassava ethanol. For me, for my business, I always tell my clients to find a way to do away with government, if possible. But because this guy is coming from a Sena climbs, he thought we are saying here too. So he insisted that we go to government. We went to the government. To cut all the long story short, the next thing we are going to hear is that you guys announced that the same ethanol that we want to do, you want to do it in the Ragbich. We don't know, maybe that ethanol factory is already existing now, or maybe it's not. But having said that, that singular act discouraged. I'm not discrediting any government. I've told you, I'm not an enemy of any government. Neither am I a friend. So what am I trying to say is this. That singular act discouraged my client, and he wanted to take his money out. So I quickly went to him. He stays in Western Soil. He's from Ede. I quickly went to him and said, you brought in $2 million. Please, don't take this money away. I can give you something else that you invest on. And that's what gave birth to a factory behind Samis in Akoda today called Topsell. Right now, the same client has invested over $7 million as we speak. The current governor has been there because he has been there. And do you now know the funnest part? When the previous government was counting their own success story, 3 years success story, the same person that they frustrated, they counted it among the success story. So what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say in essence is that if you did not make use of doing business easy, forget about it. There is no way there will be a good economy. There will be development in the economy of the state. The economy, the drivers of the economy are the real exploit, the mainframe, all of us here. They are the small businesses that are in the state. If you don't encourage them, forget it. And I'll give you another example. We have industrial park or industrial estate in this state. In fact, more importantly, from Abere, the junction of Abere, after that custom, to Blue Petals, somewhere around Blue Petals Hotel, that place is designated as the Osun Industrial Park. How many industries did you see there? Why are we having that industrial park on the book? And when the concept of Osun Central City, which is in our Adagbolu now, was in place, I'm bold to say that I was part of the initial concept. I checked out because I felt I needed to do something else. And I felt it does not fall in within my own person's view. What am I trying to say is that a very lofty idea, Osun Industrial City, beautiful concept, beautiful idea. If it's well executed, supported by government, you will see number of industries. The same thing they want to achieve in Osun Industrial City is what we are achieving with those OSPDC in Akoda Ededa. Now we have brought in 3 industries there. They are still counting. And by the grace of God, we will get to where we are going. So what am I saying in essence is that you don't say ease of doing business with mouth. You act it. You act it. Tell us you are doing really ease of doing business. Why do you have industrial city that is not functioning? And the purpose of industrial city is to aggregate, put all the industry in one place. Let every industry be in one place so that when you are administering resources to them, it can be easy for you. Industrial city. But the factory that is in Akoda now, you have to provide infrastructure for him differently. The one in Ikiru, another infrastructure. The one in Egbogon. But if there is an industrial city, you can do a dedicated line to an industrial city and have 247 lights. It's even cheaper. The IBDC is selling at 61 naira per unit. We are buying from Genco, TCN. We are buying from TCN rather at 48 naira per unit. You can even give them a cheaper light. But we are not sincere with our intention. And that is what I'm punching our speaker to look into. Okay. Having said that, proximity to raw materials is also one of the, and market is one of the important things. Ogun State, when you are coming from Lagos, when you get to that interchange, you will see Wasil, you will see Wasco, you see Apple and Pears, you see Olam. Why is every industry going to Ogun State? Why? Number one thing is their proximity to markets, because Lagos is a central market. But Osun also has a very good advantage. We are so central to raw materials. And that is the reason why in vegetable oil industry today, Osun, before our intervention in 2020, before my company intervention in 2020, Osun used to be number 5 in Southwest. Only after Ekiti. But today, Osun has become number 2. And the reason is simple. The raw materials is Aye, Iwo, Modakeke, Onolesha. Even one of our Egbon just planted about 7,000 hectares in Iwo Yegesha area there. And in that place, about 10 billion naira investment has gone there. So what am I trying to say is that we also have an advantage that we are a center state that anything coming from neighboring states could easily come to. We are not taking advantage of that for us. Then lack of direction and political willness. Okay, I want to rush now. Lack of direction and political willingness of government. I've mentioned that in the case of the Osun Central City and the industrial park. Corruption and personal interest. This I have issue with. And maybe this is an area whereby most people in Osun, we don't used to agree. I believe when you put soap in one hand and you put water in another hand and you use both to rub each other, it is both hand, either you like it or not. It is both hand that is going to clean. But our greediness at times, the individual greediness at times. I was speaking yesterday, I said that, do we even know that we have people that have money? They are using money to chase individuals. The people of Shell, the Oiko Credit and Co., they have millions of dollars. They are looking for industry to take just 10% equity. Just 10% of your equity, and they will give you $2 million, $3 million. And it has been, I won't mention who we have done it for in Osun here. And the Baba today is virtually not working, just only supervising. And he's making 600 times 600% of what he was making, where he is the full owner. But our individual greediness don't let us collaborate. Rather, we look at competition. But that we should also change. Okay, having said that, I will quickly move to the next slide, which is talking about the effect. The effect is simple. We are going to have lack of development and growth, like we are witnessing now. The reduction in standard of living of people. When they don't have money, they cannot, if Camwood build whatever fine estates, they cannot afford to buy it. But if there are jobs, if there are industries, if they have money, it is just good for them to go and also improve their standard of living. Potential IGR, what government doesn't know is that they are also losing a whole lot of money for not doing what they are supposed to do. And the era of PPP has gone. You know, PPP is public-private partnership. I always say, let's change it. Whenever I'm in a forum like this, I say, let's change it. Let's make it private-public partnership. Let's just assume that our government doesn't know what to do. Let the stakeholders, the individuals, bring what to do to government. Let's assume they don't know what to do. So let's bring that initiative and take it to them. And this is what you should implement. If they do not now implement it, we know that they don't have a good intention for us. And then the reduction in purchasing power, general purchasing power, high level of unproductivity in society. Now you see a lot of youth, somebody of my age, oh mama dikoto, kotolojuono. Me feel your own, but I'm just saying they can channel that serious energy into more productive things. Oh mama dikoto lojuono. For the commuters to give them how much? They are not adding to the productivity of the state. But that is the only thing they feel they can do. Now my recommendation. Quickly, because I have about 3 minutes to go. My recommendation. Government responsibility. I tag that recommendation into 2. Government should have a deliberate intention to industrialize the state by ensuring friendly SME policy and environmental, and commit the same to stakeholder. Please call those that are in the states and understand their feelings. Let them draft a policy for you to drive on. And if it is, there was a day that we did one draft for government. I was making presentation then. When they are out of government, they told me that as you are saying your own, the only thing we see is procurement. If you are not going to be serious, don't call us. We are not going to answer you. But if you are going to be serious, call us. The likes of Real Exploit is dead. Like I've seen Mr. David. All of us, call us. We don't have any other state. We have to develop it. We will give you what we know. And when we give you what we know, have a good intention to also implement it. And then innovative thinking to stop over-reliance on government handouts, target infrastructure, and then avoid politics of bitterness and nepotism. We have in Kano today, one government built something, another government come and start demolishing it. Is it not public fund they are wasting? On this note, I say thank you so much for listening to me. My name is Dauda Olade.
Thank you very much for that very brilliant presentation. One more time, please. Can we appreciate Mr. Dauda Oladile? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for that succinct section. So before we all had everyone in the hall like this, I said something that the Osun Global Real Estate Conference is one of its kind. How many of us can attest to that? That it is one of its kind. Okay, I believe that almost everyone can attest to that. And it's so beautiful to have an event like this. But this event is happening today with the intentional effort of some brands. And like I said, it was brought to us by Aquint Concept, but in partnership with other sponsors and media houses. And right now, would like to acknowledge these brands. And the first brand that would be appreciating is British Stars Events and Project Management. Please, a round of applause for this brand. Aurora Conference and Event Center, Gold Mender Media, Zenith Real Estate and Properties Limited, Osogbo Central Hospital, Armstrong's Paint, Camwood Estate, Rave 91.7 FM, TVC News, NTA, OSBC, Diamond FM, and Osun Culture Central Hospital. Please, a round of applause for these brands. Please, a better round of applause for these brands. I believe that we all want to have more and more of, exceptional events like this, and we also need to appreciate them so that they can do more. Thank you so much.
All right. While Mr. Dauda was presenting, we had in one of our speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to respectfully acknowledge the presence of Dr. Ajayi Amos. Please, can we put our hands together for one of our, can we appreciate him? He joined us.
Thank you so much for coming,
while
sir.
the presentation
We appreciate
was
you.
ongoing. Also, would like to one more time appreciate the speaker for being with us. Thank you so very much. We do not take your time and presence for granted. Can we appreciate Mr. Speaker one more time? Right, Honorable Wale Egbedu. Ladies and gentlemen, I said something the other time. It's a conference. We are all expected to be serious and formal, but we'd like to give you something off for the next few minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, to entertain us for the next 5 to 7 minutes, put your hands together for Oludari Cultural Troupe.
Just a round of applause for them.
wù tòun tẹ̀ wù tiẹ̀ ẹ̀ tún dé ẹ̀ sáwọn àwòye. Ẹ̀ sáwọn àwò ara ire táwọn yóò máa dá. Ó dáná nítorí gómìnà tiwa nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ọ̀nàrẹ́bù Wálé Ẹgbẹ́dùn spíkà tiwa nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ló wá sọ pé ìmọ̀lẹ̀ dé òkùnkùn párádà ìmọ̀lẹ̀ kò ní mọ́ láyé kí gbogbo ènìyàn kó má máa rí o bọ́jọ́ báyọ̀ wá kárí ayé alákànlẹ̀ ní tòṣùmálẹ̀ bàbá wa Wálé Ẹgbẹ́dùn oòrùn láti jọba ọ̀sán òṣùpá àti ìràwọ̀ láti jọba òdu olúwa olúwa àkọ́dá ayé aláṣẹ ọ̀run ẹ máa bá wa lọ.
èyí máa dùn tó èyí máa dùn tó ní ti gbajúmọ̀ ayẹlẹ́ o èyí máa dùn tó ní ti gbajúmọ̀ ẹni bá sọ pé kò dùn tó. Bóyá fàdà ní bàbá o fàdà ní bàbá tẹ̀sẹ̀ kọ́. Fàdà ní bàbá o fàdà ní bàbá. Adékọ́lá ní fàdà o fàdà ní bàbá o. Ẹ máa gbọ́ ọmọ òye rẹ o ẹ máa gbọ́ ọmọ òye rẹ o Ọládélé ọmọ òye rẹ o ẹ máa gbọ́ ọmọ òye rẹ o Adéyínká ọmọ òye rẹ o ẹ máa gbọ́ ọmọ òye rẹ o Akíndélé ọmọ òye rẹ o ọmọ òye.
All right, thank you.
Awe! Awe!
30 more seconds. right, 20 more seconds. More seconds. Ten more seconds. Seven more seconds. Oludare Cultural Troupe. 3 more seconds. Two more seconds. That is it. That is it. That is it. That is it. Please do not try this at home for security reasons, please. Otofo. Your time is up. Oludare Cultural Troupe. Young man, respect yourself. That is it. Please put your hands together for these young ones. Very brilliant performance. Very brilliant. That young boy must be a magician. Thank you, Oludare Cultural Troupe. Jackie Chan of Osogbo. For security reasons, do not try this at home. Put your hands together for them, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. Young man, it's over. Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ti gba balance ó tó ẹ ṣé? Ẹ ṣé o, ẹ ṣé o. Orúkọ Jésù. Orúkọ Jésù. Put your hands together for Oludare Cultural Troupe. Hey! Jésù Kristi Olúwa wa. Thank you because of our time. Wow. I think they deserve it. Joma wo speaker. Má gbàgbé dé stay CID o. Má wo speaker o. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi má wo speaker. Jọ o. Nǹkan kékeré lè fi lọ stay CID o. Wow. Please put your hands together for them, ladies and gentlemen. Do not try this at home. Thank you very much, Oludare Cultural Troupe. Your time is over. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ẹ ṣé. Ẹ máa padà wá ṣe part 2, ẹ jọ̀ọ́. Your time is up. Mr. Speaker is enjoying your performance, but we need to get back to the business of the day. Thank you. Oludare, please put your hands together for them as they take their leave. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Very brilliant performance to lighten up the environment. Thank you. Oludare, thank you. Please put your hands together for them, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. Please
That
a round
was
of applause
amazing.
for them.
Thank you very much.
Like he said, don't try this at home, please. It is very important to note that warning.
I think they deserve a very brilliant. Can we please appreciate them? It is actually not easy. I remember those days when I used to be a dancer too.
Which days? Which one?
Yes, I used to be a dancer, but I changed.
I choose not to say anything.
I became a Christian.
So
Right.
we're moving next to our next section for the day, and of course it's a virtual section. Our speaker is on seat, ready to deliver. But before then, I would quickly take his profile. The next speaker for today is Mr. Osho Adeolu. He is a serial entrepreneur, an angel investor, and blockchain strategist. He is an expert at identifying and investing in advanced blockchain technology that yields high returns on invested capital and contributes to the global economy. Osho recognizes that wisely invested venture capital is shaping the future of blockchain transactions and is determined to be a leader in the space. In addition to his blockchain expertise, he has carved out a niche in the angel investing space for helping small business ventures succeed by providing them with much needed capital in exchange for equity. His experience with SubView, SubCharts, and Velocities has given him the technical expertise and business background skills he needs to become exceptionally creative at developing even more impactful real-world use case business ideas. And today he will be speaking to us on the topic, blockchain and digital currencies as a tool to real estate development. Please a round of applause for him. Please a better round of applause for him, please.
All right, so on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we'll leave you in the hands of Osho Adeolu, who will be speaking to us virtually.
Are we ready?
Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's a great honor to be here today, and I'm so happy to be part of this conference. I try to share my screen and my video. I don't know how many people can see my video, and I'm trying to share my screen as well so that people can see as I explain.
We can see you, sir.
My screen.
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to proceed. So I want to talk to us today about how to build tokenized real estate. How to build tokenized real estate. How to build tokenized real estate. It is very important for us to understand what tokenization means. We all understand what real estate means, but then tokenization, and which came out from the blockchain technology. Now, when a lot of us hear about blockchain technology, we mostly think that it's only about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general, but no, it's totally different. Blockchain technology is a technology in itself that you can build a lot of application on. Personally, I have been able to build numerous applications on the blockchain. I've worked with different governments, Estonian government, UAE government, Vietnamese government, and United Kingdom government. We have built different blockchain applications for different companies, help them to strategize how they can use the technology itself to help their business, their day-to-day activity to be much more transparent, much more efficient, and better. Now, I'm going to explain a little bit about blockchain technology. Some of you might understand what blockchain technology means, but I want to break it down in a layman term so that we can all understand. Now, we all understand what internet is, which is World Wide Web. www dot. So the World Wide Web is the internet. It's an application. It's a layer of application where we can build a lot of application on. Now, for example, when internet came about, so many billionaires they emerged as a result of internet. We have the likes of Facebook, we have the likes of Microsoft, we have the likes of, Amazon. These Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft softwares, these are called applications, and these applications, they are built on top of the World Wide Web. Now, blockchain is an advanced version of a World Wide Web. top of the blockchain, you can be able to see that from the comfort of your home. You can see that you can see who and who invested in the building, those who decide or who wants to decide to expose their data. You can see how much was raised. You can see how much the building cost at the initial stage. And as the building, as the building appreciates, you can also see the value. And the value of your token rises as the valuation of the building changes over the years. You can decide to transfer your token to another person. You can either sell it back to the company. You can either transfer it to Mr. A or Mr. B at a certain price that you choose to sell it. Tokenization of properties or tokenization of real estate helps you not only, to gather liquidity from your country, but other people from the diaspora can easily participate in that kind of project. And it is high time that Nigerians will wake up to the opportunity that the blockchain technology has given to us to be able to raise capital effortlessly, transparently through tokenization. I'll move to the next slide. Why tokenization? Like I've been mentioning, it improves liquidity. You get liquidity from different countries. You get liquidity easily. You get liquidity without, doing loads of marketing. You get liquidity that for a certain has been, it has been vetted. You get liquidity that that this liquidity is not coming from a scam source. It gives opportunity for entry fees to be extremely very, very low. Now, if you want to build the kind of building I was showing you earlier, you will have to go and meet banks or big investors and all that to help you out. But Mr. A, who is working as an engineer, who is earning maybe 100,000 per month, can easily put his 20,000 in this kind of project and knows that in the next 5 years, that 20,000 can be either 100,000 or less. And that engineer can be sure that this money is secure in this kind of investment. Why? Because there is a middleman always who is helping. We have, valuers who is going to value the building at every year and put that valuation on the blockchain. It stays there and stays there forever. If the building valuation starts from 10,000, 100,000 or 100 million naira, if it starts from 100 million naira, the following year, the valuation should change. Once the valuation changes, the amount of the token that you have in your wallet the value should equally increase. Why? Because there's a valuer who has come to value the building and has increased the valuation based on the present circumstances and present situation or economic situation, and has spread across the valuation on each of the tokens. Every year in, year out, valuation is done. And this valuation is an independent valuer who value independently and put the valuation on top of the blockchain. You cannot bribe a valuer. You cannot tell a valuer, don't put it there. If the valuer put the valuation there, you cannot tell the valuer to change it. It is practically impossible on top of the blockchain. Now, another thing that helps, which is smart contracts, standardized transactions. So, what do I mean by smart contract? I'm going to explain. Now, for example, if I go to any real estate company and I say, I want to invest in your real estate or in your property, and I have 1 million naira and I give him 1 million naira, he writes an invoice or a receipt for me. He writes it and he gives the receipt to me, or he sends it to my email. Once I take the invoice, I put it in my bag. For example, maybe the invoice get missing. I say, well, he has sent it to my email. I open my email, I can see the invoice there. I'm happy. Now I come back to meet the man and say, I want my money back. He can tell me, okay, no problem, go and come back. He can look for the best hacker in the world or in Nigeria to hack into my email and delete the invoice. There is no trace that I ever bought anything from him. There is no copy anywhere that ever even issued anything. And even if I'm able to even provide an invoice, it can say the invoice has been, it's a bogus invoice or it's a bogus receipt. There is nothing I can use to prove that I actually bought something from him. But with the use of smart contract, once a contract has been written on top of the blockchain, it goes into the blockchain. There is no man born of a woman that can hack into that chain and delete it. So there is a transaction that has happened between myself and the real estate person. That transaction stays there forever. I can transfer the transaction from generation to generation. I can take the transaction to any court of law and show them with timestamp. Everything will be on the blockchain without any error. This is why tokenization is highly needed and highly important. Now, it increases openness. I know that when I'm using the blockchain to transact with you, I know that there is going to be openness. I can't change anything afterwards. So I have to be open with you 100%. And I can take you to anywhere, and I can be certain that I will win that case with you. And you yourself, you will know that we are dealing on the blockchain. I better not mess with this person. So it increased openness. I've been mentioning that there is no hacker. You cannot hack anything on the blockchain. You cannot change it. It is called immutability. It is immutable. You cannot change it. You cannot do anything to it. This is why tokenization helps and is needed to attract liquidity into the real estate. So now, what I'm been saying, I've not been talking about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, whatever. I'm just talking about tokenization. You raise a token against the building, and that token is on the blockchain. That token has a certain value, and that token can be transferred from one person to the other at the same value that either it was bought or the value at which it has been valued for. Move to the next. Now, there are strategies that you need to put in place. And these are the strategies. Converting real estate assets into digital tokens. For you to be able to do this, you have to, use these strategies that I've actually listed out. 5 of them. Digital tokens enable efficient moving trade from one person to the other. It's easy for you to, I don't need the company. I don't need to go back to the real estate company and say, can you help me to sell my building? Can you help me to sell my shares out of the building? Can you help me? No. Once I go to the open market, because once this platform is created for the real estate company, everybody can come there and trade on the marketplace after the building has been completed. When the project is live, obviously, the value of the building will change. If the building is valued at 100 million at the foundation level, once the building has finished and they're about to either sell it or rent each of the units, the value is going to be different. And on the marketplace, you can sell it to another person easily, your own share. And the company itself can decide, we want to buy back. Are you ready to sell? You can name your terms as well. Now, the present value of single property, of shares, of various property, you can see it right there on the marketplace. And it's backed by blockchain technology. Blockchain secures, verifies, and controls transaction. I've mentioned this earlier. I move to the next slide. How do we proceed? You will wonder, this person has been talking a lot of all these terminologies and technology and all that. How do I get to do this? There are a few things that you need to put in place. Number one thing is that you have to understand tokenization process. We can explain to you how it works. It's very simple. You have to understand the type of interest that you want to allocate at each stage of the building, especially when the building, when, for example, at the foundation level, is 100 million. When it gets to linted, is it going to be 150 million? When it's completed, is it going to be 200 million? You need to understand, and the math must actually make sense. Then, of course, you need to understand, the smart contract, because we have to write a smart contract that is very synonymous to what you want to do, that can go with what you want to do. Then, of course, we then have to look at the regulations, the legislations, the security legislations and regulations in your country. For example, I'm talking to Nigerians, I'm talking to people of Osun State now. We have to then know what the law says when you are raising funds, and you have to put that into consideration when you are, tokenizing a real estate. Then a tax obligation, you have to understand. Do you need to pay taxes when your buyers are selling their own share? Do they need to pay taxes? You have to make sure that these taxes are paid, so that you don't fall into a lot of problems and troubles. Then asset analysis. I mentioned the other time, we have valuers who will come and value the property at each stage, and that one has to be in place as well. Of course, it will be produced by a middle person, not the real estate company themselves. Then the location of the property. The location of the property, of course, has to be determined for you to be able to proceed. The aspect of the mortgage, like some will say, they want to take mortgage to use to invest in, it can be because there are different schemes. A whole building, there can be a flat in the building that is going for sale. One person can say, I want to buy just one flat in this whole building. I want to use mortgage. You need to be able to understand all the laws or all the terms and conditions around the mortgage that the person is about to acquire. Then investor accreditation, AML, KYC standard. You need to put that into consideration as well. Why do we say all this? Because you cannot deny, because you are using tokenization. If a fraudster invests in your company, you cannot deny that the fraudster did not invest, because the person is going to have a tokenized asset attached to his name and attached to the project. You cannot deny it. So you have to vet the person who is also, trying to invest in your company. So accreditation of investor is highly important. So all these things need to be put in place for you to be able to proceed. It looks very cumbersome, it looks very big, but we have been able to, because it's a process that we have gone through over and over again, it's very easy for us to help you to put this into play. Very easy and straightforward. Now, marketplace. You need to create a marketplace, which of course we can create for you. You need to create a marketplace where, you will carefully and systematically develop the methodology to guarantee that the tokenization process works smoothly and successfully. Project initiation, you will audit the smart contract to see that there are no loopholes, everything is fine. Then you will launch the platform. Different people can decide. You don't need to be involved. People will just come there. You know where you are reaching. You know that you're raising 100 million, and you know the tokens that you have allocated for the 100 millions. Different people from different countries. Once you open the platform, they will come and start investing. Once the investment is done, it's going to close. Once it's closed, a marketplace will open. Those who are late to the investment will go and buy in the secondary market. Let's say the person buy one share of the building for 2,000 naira, and the person will say, okay, yeah, I bought it for 2,000 naira. But yeah, it's in the foundation level. When it gets to lintel level, this 2,000 naira can be 4,000. You want to buy it for 3,000. In the marketplace, a person can decide to sell you 3,000 and the other person can decide to buy from the person instantly on the marketplace. So you need to be able to provide a marketplace for your people to transact on and on. So for you to be able to build or have huge, huge liquidity, you need to involve people either from the diaspora as well. And for using tokenization is easy to involve them, because a lot of them have lost interest, a lot of them have lost trust in Nigerian real estate because of all the fraud and all the fake certificate of occupancy and multiple buyers on a particular property and all that. All these issues have actually made them to actually not want to invest in Nigerian real estate. But with the help of blockchain, obviously they will be happy and interested to invest in Nigerian real estate. Thank you very much for listening. If you want to talk more about it, it's something that we're passionate about, you can talk to the organizer of this program. You can get in touch with me and any of my team, and we'll be able to explain to you how it works easily, and you can be able to implement it without time. Thank you very much for listening. God bless Nigeria and God bless Osun State.
Thank you very much, Mr. Osho. Can we please appreciate him one more time? Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Osho Adiolu. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that section, Sam. And without wasting much of our time, we'll move to the next section of the day. And our speaker is definitely on ground for an excellent delivery as usual. And our next speaker for this section is no other person than Dr. Ajayi Amos. Please, a round of applause for him. I would like to crave your indulgence, sir, to please remain standing while I read your profile. Dr. Ajayi was born some decades ago at Ido Ekiti, his native town in Idoos, the local government of Ekiti State, Nigeria. He had his early education at Kwara State, where he attended Jamaat Primary School, Ilofa, Kwara State, and completed his primary education in the year 1990. He attended Government Secondary School, Ilorin, where he obtained his SSCE in the year 1996. With a great passion for medical practice that he has developed while growing up, he proceeded to Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Ogbomoso, where he obtained his first degree, Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery, between 1998 to 2008. During the course of study, he was a Speaker of the Student Union Government 2022-2023 academic section. He became a house office at Federal Medical Center, Abeokuta, between 2009 to 2010. Very strong is his desire to become an expert in medical practice. He started his residency training in family medicine specialty at Lautech Teaching Hospital, Osogbo. He rose to the position of Senior Registrar, Family Medicine, Lautech Teaching Hospital in the year 2015. He became a Fellow of the West African College of Physicians, Family Medicine in April 2001. Today, he is a consultant family physician, Family Medicine Department, Osun State University Teaching Hospital, former Lautech. And he will be speaking to us on the role of public health in the advancement of national development. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please with a sounding applause, welcome with me Dr. Ajayi Amos. Please a round of applause for him.
Thank you very much. I want to thank the organizers of this program to me to be I want to congratulate you and say happy birthday to you. I appreciate you, and when I remember and I think of you, I still see hope in Nigeria. I appreciate your contribution towards the development and growth of this nation at your own capacity. I want to thank everybody again, and I want to greet the distinguished people who are here. I want to greet the co-speaker too. Well done. I actually like your discussion. I've picked a lot of things there, that there are a lot of opportunities in Nigeria I might not need to go to anywhere before I get it done. So this afternoon, I'll be talking about role of public health to national development. Role of public health to national development. What is public health? It's actually a field that focused on practicing and improving the health of community and populations. And it is based majorly on health promotion, disease prevention, and health protection. We'll be talking about health today, public health, and how it influences or affects the national development. I believe we are fine. That is why we are here. Those people that dance the other time is because they are good. If they are sick, if they are not okay, if they are not health-wise okay, they won't be able to do that. So we'll be talking about the effect of this public health, good health, and the influence on the national development. What is health? As World Health Organization would define it, is a total state of well-being, mentally, physically, and even financially. State of well-being. So how can we achieve this? Public health relates on health promotion. Like what we are doing now is a form of health promotion, health education. We talk about it, how to live a good life, how to live a healthy life, to promote good health. Disease prevention. What are the things to do not to get sick? These are the areas of public health. Giving vaccination, preventing diseases in different ways. So that is disease prevention. And again, health protection. How do I protect my status? How will I remain not sick? How will I remain well? So those are the three areas, basically, that public health is focusing on. So what are the economic impact of public health? Having known and understood the concept of public health, we are talking about prevention, we are talking about maintenance of our health, and we are talking about promotion of health. Number one, healthcare cost reduction. If you are living healthy, if you are preventing diseases, this will eventually reduce the cost of healthcare, because it will be when you are sick. You don't wait till when you are sick. You have imbibed good healthcare practices. Washing of hands, exercise, healthy diet, lifestyle modification. By the time you do this, it's actually maintain your health, and the cost of health at the end of the day will be reduced. It won't be maybe when somebody now has stroke, or when somebody now has diabetic emergencies that will be rushing up and down. So, and when we do this, at least it's going to increase the national development. Another one is productivity and workforce. If you are healthy, you are going to be more productive. Somebody that is sick cannot be productive. So when we are healthy and we are okay, the workforce and the productivity will have to be increased. It attracts investment. When you are good, an healthy environment will always bring investors. Innovations and job creation. When there are investments, there is going to be job creation, and there's going to be innovations around. Reducing healthcare expenditure, preventing economic shock, long-term economic growth, healthy environment, healthy relationship, healthy community will always give long-term economic growth to a society. So we'll be talking about disease control. How do we control diseases? Number one, we talk about vaccination. What we are talking about is disease prevention, health promotion, health maintenance. We don't want to get sick before we start this. So what are the things to do? Number one, vaccination. Vaccination saves life. If you are vaccinated against some diseases, definitely chances of having it will be very low. If you are vaccinated against polio, definitely chances of you having polio will be very low. If you are vaccinated against hepatitis B, for instance, definitely having it or chances of having it will be very low. So, backbone of disease control, we talk about vaccination. So this in turn reduces mortality rate. Mortality rate is the rate of how people die. So when you are immunized against all these diseases, it will actually reduce the mortality rate. Epidemic management. How do we manage outburst or outbreak of diseases. Effective epidemic management is vital for containing and mitigating disease outbreaks. And this ensures that health system can respond swiftly to emerging threats, preventing widespread health crises and minimizing the societal and economic impact of epidemics. Public health focus on prevention significantly. We don't want it to happen. We want to prevent it. So that's the essence of public health. So, and for us to have this, we need to prepare for epidemics. We need to prepare for pandemicity in the society. Healthcare infrastructure focuses on rural area majorly. And this actually is something that is bringing equity to everybody. That what I can access in Lagos, healthcare that I can access in Lagos, is the same thing I can access in Oshogbo. So that it's bringing equity to everybody. And this promotes economic growth, prevents illness at community level, and social equity. Maternal and child health. Maternal and child health is a part of public health that is focusing on mother and baby. You know, it is zero tolerance to maternal mortality, zero tolerance to child's mortality. So it reduces maternal mortality by ensuring safe pregnancy and childbirth, reducing child mortality by essential health care and vaccination. Lower mortality rates contribute to healthier and more productive population. Now, we are talking about productive population. It is when we are healthy, we'll be more productive. And when we are productive, this will actually increase national development or national growth. So you will see that public health, focusing by the three things I've said earlier on, has a big impact on community development and national development. Family planning is another part of public health, and family planning as it is just planning family, spacing children to live a healthy life. So public health and school program, we're talking about health education. What are the roles of government? What are the roles of providers, healthcare providers like us, and what are the role of individual like us here? Number one, from the level of the government, they expected to have health education, to educate people on their health, preventing substance abuse, health equity, for everybody to be able to access good health, immunization programs, school health ethics, mental health support. This mental health is a very important aspect of public health. When we talk about mental health, people will think it's only mad people that need to access or be examined by mental experts. A lot of things can cause mental problem for us. Marriages, religion, society, community, job. You know, a lot of people are living with depressions. A lot of people are living with a lot of psychological issues, finances, and a lot of things. So we need to assess ourselves. And this area of mental health is a very important aspect. And you know, in this developing country, we are not actually paying attention to it. But we need to pay attention to our mental health, our mind, and our sanity. Then the provider should be able to make emergency preparedness if there is any occurrence. How prepared are we as a provider? Then research and evaluation. Then to us as people, what's our responsibility in education? One, parents and community engagement. As a parent, as a family, we need to get in touch with ourselves, with the children, with the community too. In the churches, in the mosque, we need to teach people on how to live a healthy life. We have to talk about health promotion to them. And again, nutrition programs, physical activity. Physical activity involves basically, exercise. Exercise is a form of lifestyle modification that actually helps us. Everybody needs exercise. And we need to be taught, we need to be told, and we need to know that everybody needs exercise. Exercise is a good medicine. It's a medicine that we prescribe for people even in the hospital. You need to exercise for your heart, for all the organs in the body. And that is why physical activity is very, very important. Some people will say, I'm not fat now. Do I need exercise? Everybody needs exercise. What we are talking that is that you need to be fit, to be productive, for national development. And we are relating your health with it. Thank God everybody is here today. We are here because we are good. If somebody is hospitalized now, you won't be able to be here. If somebody is sick, you won't be able to be here. So what we are talking about is actually health promotion and prevention of diseases. So exercise is a major thing for everybody. Either you are fat, you are thin, and exercise can actually be focused on different people. If you are hypertensive, for instance, the exercise that you should do. If you are diabetic, the exercise that can be prescribed for you. If you want to be involved if you want to have weight reduction, there are exercise you need to do. But I might not be able to go to the details of that here. But what exercise is a major thing. It's a drugs. It improves blood flow to the brain. It improves blood flow to every part of the body. So it is very good for us to do exercise. Some people, they are involved in stress and not exercise. There are two different things. Exercise is a rhythmic thing we do at interval. And as an adult, we are saying that somebody should exercise between 3 hours to 7 hours in a week. So these are the things we need to know about so that we live healthy. Surveillance in public health. Surveillance is close monitoring in public health, which involves data collection, monitoring health trends, identifying high-risk population, and program evaluation. Public health response program. What are the programs that are available when we are targeting national development and at the same time we want to live healthy? Based on those things we have said, awareness, promotion, and health maintenance. Number one, we talk about immunization. You immunize the children so that they will be vaccinated, and this will actually prevent diseases with them. Protect people from disaster and disease outbreak. Screen newborn for health problems. So from neonates, from the newborn, we can screen babies for different diseases, heart diseases, and some other things. So that we're able to prevent a lot of things, occurrence in the nearest future. Give women cancer screening. It is very, very important. Women who are sexually active. Sexual activity means somebody that is having sex. You need to do some investigation. Number one, pap smear. Pap smear is a form of screening we do to be able to screen a woman for cervical cancer. This thing is very good. It's quite unfortunate that in this part of the world, it's when somebody is sick, we see them in the hospital. Preventive medicine is very important. I don't want to see a patient that is having cervical cancer. Why can't I prevent cervical cancer so that I'll be able to live a healthy life? So pap smear for women, for men who are more than 40 should do PSA. PSA is a form of screening for their prostate. Women who are more than 40 should go for mammograph. Check and screen for all these diseases. So that it's not when somebody is now coming down with that disease that will now start to talk about it. Check your blood pressure, check your blood sugar. Some people will see them in the hospitals. When they have stroke, they bring them. They don't even aware that they are having hypertension. But by the time you check your blood pressure, you check your blood sugar, you'll be able to prevent, and you'll be able to prevent the complications of all these diseases. And you're able to live a healthy life so that your productivity will be sound. You'll be able to add value to the community. You'll be able to add to the national growth of Nigeria. So screen people for other diseases, provide health services in rural areas, promote healthy lifestyle to reduce chronic conditions. Keep our air, water, and neighborhood clean. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Some people are so dirty. When you are neat, there are some things that cannot happen to you. Outbreak of cholera, outbreak of COVID, you need to wash your hand, sanitize your environment. You have malaria because you have mosquito bites. Why can't you clean your environment so that you reduce the cost of money you are spending on diseases? You'll be able to live a healthy life. You'll be able to go to your work, not that malaria will lock you down. This is an endemic environment, but we need to prevent ourselves. When we're talking about prevention, you do nets on your door. No waterlogged area in your environment, the bushes, you clean them. So cleanliness is next to godliness. Your health, you have to be, your good health, you have to be keeping a very good hygiene. Now, problems facing 21st century healthcare. We talk about healthcare for aging population, geriatrics. They are almost a neglected set of people in the society. So these are the problems we are facing. Healthcare in the age of climate change. There are civilization, there are technology, so there is climatic change. So this is a challenge for healthcare in this century. Healthcare and multi-morbidity. Because of longevity now, because of improving healthcare, because of westernization, people are likely to live older, and this is associated with comorbidity. Healthcare for those suffering from mental illness. Mental illness is a big issue and is a big challenge, which most of the mental illness are preventable. And that's why we talk about drug abuse. When you enter our hospital, our ward, you see when we admit 10 patients there in the mental ward, 9 of them or 10 of them are abusing drugs. And this is a major problem we are facing in society now. Prevention is better than cure. And how do you prevent it? Is don't go to drugs. And that's what we preach, because drug abuse is rewiring of our brain. And unfortunately, the brain will now depend on that drug. That will now lead to addiction. So if you don't take drug, you'll be able to perform anything. So number one thing for preventing it is to abstain from drug. So some other burdens we are seeing in practice is infection control. Look at COVID-19 pandemic is a new disease that we are seeing, is a new infection. Amoxicillin is failing, antibiotics because of abuse. When anybody is sick, just go and take, okay, I have infection, just go and take antibiotics, just go to any other place. If you do that without proper investigation and proper prescription, definitely when your body needs that antibiotic, it's not going to work again. And what we see in the practice now is that these antibiotics are failing. There are resistance to all these drugs due to misuse of those drugs. So please don't let us be involved in misuse of drugs. So what we'll do now, number one, we don't abuse drug, we don't misuse drug, we use drugs appropriately. Yeah, Nigeria is battling with, for instance, this country being a developing country, we are battling with limited resources, human resources, financial resources, human capacity. Somebody was talking about Japa the other time. You know, everybody has left this country. Professionals. So this is a big burden in the medical practice that we are facing. And other limited resources like finances and other things. Health inequities. That means, for instance, people who are living in rural area are not be able to have good access to good health. Infectious diseases. As I said the other time about misuse of drugs, about resistance of drugs to these antibiotics. And non-communicable diseases is getting on the higher side, diabetes, hypertension, and other non-communicable diseases. So these are the challenges we are facing now. So barriers to public health goals. What are the problems we are facing? As we know, our goal in public health is that we don't want to get sick. We want to health educate. We want to promote health. We want to maintain our health. One is society. Society is a group, is a factor that is working against public health goal. Technology, economy is another thing working against it. So in conclusion, public health is crucial in national development as it is the cornerstone upon which prosperous and equitable society are built. As we recognize the vital importance of public health in national development, we must collectively act to patronize and invest in this critical field. Thank you so much.
Can we please put our hands together for Dr. Ajayi one more time for that very brilliant presentation? Thank you so very much, sir. That was loaded. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the next few minutes, I'll leave you in the hands of a young man who will be doing something very unique for the next few minutes before we have our last speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. Bengu.
Please a round of applause for him.
Can we please put our hands together for this young man? I'm very sure you'll clap more when he's leaving this podium.
Thank you so much. God bless you. All right. Good afternoon, sir. It's my pleasure to be here. This afternoon. My name is Adekunle Adediran David. People call me Dr. Bengu. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a comedian, and so I've listened to profiles of so many people they introduce here on stage. So it's a pleasure when one of our boys introduced me, and I'm sorry the event stuff they gave to you, my name is not there, so I'll read my profiles myself. I'm from Oshogbo here. I attended primary school before secondary school. I'm not joking, I'm a millionaire, so yeah, a young millionaire. So I don't like telling people, we have kidnappers all around. So I don't want to be kidnapped, and real estate is one of the things we should actually invest in. I've invested over, when I read your profile, I saw you have invested over $25 million. That's too small, yeah, I like your courage. Yeah, you're coming up. Yeah, you're coming up. Yeah. I've been into this business for over about. It's been long. I can't really know, So I have people managing my business for me. All these things I'm telling you is in my head, actually. But one day, you're actually pushing me to where I'm going. Shogbo is a place that will make you feel like the only thing we know about real estate investing in a mortgage or a real estate business is probably people will tell you if you are looking for a house and you want to rent an apartment. That's the only thing we know. And the only people that we have had a encounter with in this city are the caretakers. We have suffered from these people. They will tell you 3-bedroom flat and suite, each room with bathroom and toilet. And when you get there, they will tell you there is running water, electricity, fenced, no neighbor. Now got there, you see that it's 2 flats. He said this one, and don't worry, the person just back out. There's no light. I was just a Jenny. You should pay first. But, conferences like this will actually teach us and make us understand more of the things. I don't really have more time. It's just to create a light moment. I love the doctor that just left here. Thank you so much. We really learned a lot, especially the part you said when we are over 40. I love that part. The only thing that got me worried about doctors is they actually tell you to come from checkup in the clinic, in the hospital. Come for checkup, come for checkup. There was a time when HIV just came around and they would tell you, everybody come for your HIV test. It's not only through sexual transmission. If you want to go to a barber shop, circumcisions and all. And probably you went to an hospital for an HIV test. The only thing what they used to do, he's saying that some people doesn't know that they have hypertension. Some people will have hypertension when they go for HIV test. You are 10 that went for the test. Now after the test, now they'll not say, okay, stay here. You are expecting your result, either negative or positive. Instead of the doctor to come out and tell you, you are negative or you are positive, they will just come out. Bangboye Adeoluwa, Balogun Ilun, say yes, stay here. Precious Adedoyin, stay here. Now they will not divide you 5-5. They will not tell you maybe these are the people that are positive or these are the people that are negative. But in your mind, you now conclude in your mind that group A, group B. Now you now start thinking and start communicating with thought. You now be looking at the other side. Now something will now convince you. Probably somebody standing beside you is lean. Now you now see somebody that is actually leaner than this person. Okay. Now you now start an engagement with somebody standing beside you so that you know. Now the worst part of it is when the doctor now comes in and now tell you, I'm sorry, please, 5 of you, please follow me. They now take those 5 inside. They now leave only you here. Now, when those 5 are inside, you now be thinking like, I want you to not go away. Can you use in Now, when those 5 people now come out, probably they are not laughing. Or probably they now laugh and they are now talking when they are looking, and there's one thing about doctors, if you don't have HIV, they will still sensitize you about it when you get to their office. Now, they now say, 5 of you, follow me. Now you that you are thinking that you have HIV before. Now you now get to their office. Instead of you to break the news for them and tell you, bro, you are free, you don't have HIV. The first thing they will tell you is, you see, HIV is not the end of life. What kills people is stigmatization. If you see anyone that have HIV, don't separate yourself. You can still hug them, shake them. Okay, you don't have it. All right, my name is Dr. Bengu. I'm just thank you.
Let's put your hands together for Bengu. Please, I appreciate it one more time. Very brilliant comic. Thank you so very much. All right, on that note, we'll be moving to the last speaker for today's conference at Osun Global Real Estate Conference.
Hello. And of course, we're still live at the Osun Global Real Estate Conference, brought to you by Equine Concepts. And we are our last speaker for the day. And before all the sections, I mentioned that this particular company behind this conference aspires to bring development from the global world into Africa, to provide accurate information, skilled analysis, and sound real estate advice. And they also aspire to continually explore new ideas and technology. And of course, the last but not the least, to be the best full-service real estate company in the Triangle and to enhance our quality of life through tourism and lifestyle showcase. I hope that all of us as participants today have been able to learn 1 or 2 things from the previous last section. Also promises to be satisfying and, of course, enlightening. So I'll go right into his profile. Engineer Adeleke Adekola Abdulmujib. So I would like to crave your indulgence to please remain standing. Engineer Adeleke Adekola Abdulmujib is the MD and Chief Executive Officer of Equine Concept from Oshogbo, Osun State. He holds a BSc in Civil and Environmental Engineering from the University of Lagos, MSc in Irish and Traffic Engineering from Federal University of Agriculture. He is currently certified, and here is a few of the awards and recognition that he has received. Honorary Doctorate, Professional Doctorate in Real Estate Management, Award from the National Association of University Students as National Outstanding Leadership Award. In addition to his many skills, he also coaches realtors on legal and industrial procedures in building a real estate business. Together with sale pitches and marketing training, his goal is to break the poverty and be the generational wealth builder in our society. And he also hopes to transform real estate for tomorrow's world. His hobbies are traveling, reading, writing, and hiking. Some of his skills are communication, listening, problem solving, training, and so on. And he'll be talking to us on the topic, the current state of real estate in Osun State and its potentials for transformation to drive global development and infrastructural growth. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please with a sounding applause, welcome our speaker for the last section for the day, Engineer Adeleke Adekola. Thank you so much, sir. We are honored to have you.
Thank you very much.
First of all, saying good afternoon, everybody.
I say I'm overwhelmed to have everybody seated here at a very short notice. Standing on existing protocol, the people that are present and people that are joining us virtually, I say a very big welcome to you. Thank you for coming. Before I go to the presentation proper, we had a short dinner with the speakers last night, and the dinner was supposed to bring us together to discuss what the conference is basically all about. I'm from Osun State, as they said earlier, and I think I have a very soft spot for this state. I'm basically not looking to retire anywhere else aside from this state. And I'm definitely not going to retire there alone. For somebody of my vast experience, if we're talking about retirement, then we should be talking about luxury. Somewhere that will be as comfortable as wanting to travel anywhere in the world. And for this reason, I and my team members decided to put together this conference, which we intend to make a continuous or annual event for us to be able to achieve our goal of making Osun State a competitive standard internationally.
So going straight to the presentation, well, I didn't pick the topic myself. I was just asked to talk about it. The topic states, the current shape of real estate in Osun and its potential for transformation to drive global development and infrastructural growth. Creating an internationally competitive future such that it becomes a place one must visit, invest in, and most importantly, a choice location to live in to access a lifestyle of luxury. Just like Dubai comes to town before the United Arab Emirates, New York City before Washington DC for the United States. Our dream is to have Osun come to the town before Nigeria and Africa. For all implications, economic development which includes, but not limited to growth rates of national income, per capita income, per capita consumption, physical quality life index, and industrial process are possible measures to improve structural and demographic transformation of an economy, which has the ability to drive urbanization. What this simply states is the general terms in economics that used to measure the growth rate. And we must all agree that dreams actually come true, but there is a lot of work to be done. And of course, Rome was not built in a day, and there will always be a step to take forward. So, going forward, this is the usual measurement of economic growth, like the gross domestic product has a direct implication on the measure of growth and development of an economy, as it's the consumption of household, composition of household consumption, government spending, investment, and output to the private sector. So looking at the background of study,
Osun, which is one of the most populated states in southern Nigeria, with a land mass of approximately 8,536 square kilometers, 30 local government areas, and just quite unfortunate that 0.92% per decade in the built-up development. Osun State, which is an enormously endowed region, with abundance of natural resources like gold, granite, tantalite, columbite, talc, tourmaline, feldspar, and so on, with just a little above 6% exploration, with so much opportunities to tap in drives of development such as innovation, skills, entrepreneurship, social coalitions like education, health, are capacity builders for understanding development. For that, what we're trying to tell you is the capacity that we have in Osun State. I'm sure that if I didn't have to mention it, we didn't even know we had so much natural resources here in Osun State, compared to a state like Lagos State. And during the course of our discussion, the last time I checked, I don't think Lagos has any natural resource. So looking at the current state of development in Osun State presently, we're experiencing a very large setback due to lack of advanced or standard infrastructure, industries, ICT, power, environmental, and social amenities. The state is still experiencing a reasonable amount of technical brain drain, like my co-speaker talked about the Japa syndrome earlier. Population movement to more urbanized areas, investment relocation, like Professor Oladile too said, underdeveloped technology. So I'm just going to cite this as a notable example. When we talk about an internationally competitive development, this is an example. Traveling through time for present to future. This is one global notable project. The Line, that's what it's called. It's in Saudi Arabia, and they intend to complete that project by 2030 with about $500 billion invested into the project. What's the essence, basically? It's going to house 9 million people out of the population, about 25% of the population, and running on 100% renewable energy, and also set to prioritize health and well-being. We must all understand the syndrome of global warming. It's becoming alarming, and it's quite unfortunate that this part of the world, we don't take it serious at all. And if we don't start addressing the issue right now, I wonder if we'll ever be able to get it right. So for this reason, I decided to put together a team of professionals. They are all my senior colleagues. Somebody spoke about tokenization from the United Kingdom, and I'm sure that a lot of us here will be wondering, how did we get there, or what are we going to do with tokenization? And he must have explained better what we really should do about it. That's one. We talked about financial capacity and investment by one of our speakers. We talked about the essence of health in development. And of course, when real estate comes to your mind, the only thing that comes to your mind is buying land and selling land. No, it doesn't work that way. Like the female speaker said earlier, the only thing that matters is health, and every other thing stands on it. That is to let you understand that real estate goes way beyond just building houses, buying lands, and what have you. It talks about your well-being, it talks about the political powers, the government authorities, and the opportunities that lies around it. So for this reason, I'm going to recommend this. This is one of our notable locations in Osun State. This is Erin-Ijesha Waterfall, as you can see. We must have one time or the other visited the place, our local, so to say. And have you ever thought about a situation whereby you can make it of an international standard, like the next slide? Having a resort right there at Erin-Ijesha Waterfall. Having a cable car right at Erin-Ijesha Waterfall. This is not going to be for us anymore. This will be for people to come into the state to invest in tourism, sports, and so many other sectors. Looking at the next slide, this is another location that is renowned in Osun State. This is Owala Dam, somewhere in Obaoke. And you can see the replica. Imagine us having a kayaking sport that can bring international awareness to Osun State here. Or you imagine we don't have to go to Maldives anymore. We have our Maldives here in Osun State. I'm sure everybody knows this place. This is what we are known for. This is our popular Osun Grove. And every year, we are scared of reshaping or changing the environment. That is an archaic way of thinking. Imagine a place where you are having the Osun Grove like this. It doesn't actually take away the deity. It only funkifies it to international standard. Although we have the normal Osun festival that actually claims a lot of crowd, but we don't just want the crowd to come and go. We want them to come and stay. And we want to make Osun State a place where everybody in the world will come and spend their vacation, invest their enormous wealth, and live with us. So in conclusion, as leaders in real estate, we want to ensure an essentially distributed development of top-notch standard here in Osun State and Nigeria as a whole. Also, the saying, Rome was not built in a day, used as an application to drive developmental and infrastructural growth, setting a time frame of a decade, consistent review, we can propel vast and international development and make Osun State a place of first choice to the world. Thank you very much.
Can we put our hands together for him one more time? Very brilliant presentation. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, we still have our speakers seated, so we'll take in questions and answers. We'll take just 3 or 4. I think we have some on ground already. So you are here and you have a question, please kindly signify so that we can wrap up this event. Okay, 1, thank you. All right, 2, and 3, and that's it. Thank you very much. Let's do it.
Good morning. My name is Igwe Babalola, and I'm based here in Osun State. So my question goes to the third speaker, Mr. Dauda Oladele. Nice presentation, sir. Thank you very much. And also to the organizers, I want to say thank you very much for this program. So my question is, what opportunities might emerge from the financial setbacks? You know, just like there are problems that arises, there are also solutions for every problems. So I want to know what kind of opportunities might emerge from the setbacks, such as the potential for more sustainable and affordable housing solutions. That is 1. To Barrister Onifade Adekola. I don't know if he's still around. Okay. Can I ask this question? Okay, good. He spoke about land grabbing, which is the unethical way and unlawful acquisition of land. So, of course, this thing is actually rampant. I would like to know, is there a actual way to actually devise for people, to the local communities? Obviously, the urban areas might obviously know their way around to avoid this land grabbing and all. But then, to the local communities that have no ideas about this, how can we reach out to them to be able to avoid the land grabbing? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Felix. I have a question. Okay, my question is actually a general real estate question. I was given an opportunity to own a land in Lagos, actually, but I was afraid. I was afraid because a day will come, the government will say it's their property, or they will say I wrongly said a structure. So I was afraid to buy the land. But my friend went and bought the land around Ekpe side. So now I want real estate expert to explain or to give me more light. Okay, now going to the government is a long process. So most of the people that want to acquire land, we want to go to private companies or some real estate that are coming up. Their prices and their procedures are kind of very cheap to go for. So now, if you go for them tomorrow, will you have problem with the government? Unlike me that don't have a government backup, if I hustle to get a land and tomorrow the government wants to fight for me, of course I will not be able to fight for them. So now, I want two people to tell me procedures to go in order to acquire land legally. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, the last question for the day. Okay, I think we have two more immediately after a question.
Good afternoon. My name is Olugbeja Adedoyin, and I'm standing on the existing protocol. Then my question goes to the last speaker concerning the slides that you showed us about our tourist attraction and everything. So my question is, what are the steps that are being taken to make all these dreams come true? I mean, are the governments, are they emotionally invested in making sure this thing comes to reality? Because looking at the slides, everything is beautiful, we all love it and everything like that, but are there steps that are being taken to make sure these things are alive? That is my question to you, sir. Then to our doctor, sir, you talk about awareness for pap smear for women and everything like that. Concerning the awareness, are there necessary awareness for the pap smear? Like, a lot of people don't know anything about pap smear. If not for a few of us that are probably conversant with the internet and everything, what are the steps that the governments are taking towards making awareness concerning pap smear, women, awareness about cancer and every other thing? I think and then all these checkups and awareness, okay, do the test and everything, are there measures that they are taking to make sure they are affordable and they are easily accessible for everyone in the society? Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so two more, then we'll call it a day for the question and answer section.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shola Laniya Bishop. All protocol duly observed. I appreciate all the speakers that have spoken. I am particularly impressed by, I think it's Mr. Dauda, and he's the one I have a question for. I like his speech particularly because of the objectivity with which he spoke regarding SMEs and how to make a good working environment for them and ease of doing business. My question particularly is because since I've been in Oshogbo, it's been 5 years, thereabouts, or 6 years, I realized that everything in business in Oshogbo seemed to revolve around the government. What do we do in those regards? I have not seen any economy that becomes vibrant that way. It is so, it gets me very emotionally disturbed that we have to go around the government for everything. That even when the government wants to do things to help business, it all ends up as something very political. What do we do about it? That's number one. Now, number two is, are there practical forums or opportunities for interaction for business people in Osun State? Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Akindele Akintola. So my question is to the last speaker. pertaining to the resort and the likes, how do private individual in the state comes into this program? How do we key in? We know the government have to be a part, but how do individuals, private individuals who are interested in this program comes in? Thank you.
All right, thank you. So the last question for the day. Okay?
Good afternoon. My name is Salah Walaba, and the question I want to ask is pertaining to the last question, like, is it possible for a private organization to collaborate with government to achieve a particular goal, like the last speaker just showed us, sir? That's my question.
Thank you. All right. So the front table here. Thank you. Yes. So we'll take answers from Mr.
Thank you.
Dauda. All right.
My name is Odelano Olabanji. First and foremost, a very big congratulations to Rotary and our gentleman, the Adeleke, for what you're putting up. Well, I have two questions. First happens to be, unfortunately, Barrister Nifade is not on seat, but I believe you can also do justice to that. How were you able to cope when you had the experience of not only land, but properties generally, property grabbing, let me not just say land grabbing, done to you by government? I have somebody close to me who is experiencing it, so I would like to know how you are able to scale through in that time. Then secondly, it goes through Mr. Dauda Oladele. I'm also a young entrepreneur. I have my facility in Osun State. I have been able to cope with multiple taxation from government of Osun. It's been a major concern. As a matter of fact, in 2020, we had ministry to meet with representative of government, and while other states were having palliative measures to cushion the effect on the SME, Osun State was putting more pressure on us. We pointed out to the it was unfortunate, many companies relocated, and one of the reasons why they relocated to Ogun State was because there was a waiver in tax during that period. But unfortunately, we could not benefit that. So how are you able to scale through to get to this point? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That will be the end of the question. So I think we'll take responses from Mr. Dauda Oladele.
Thank you so much. The first question, sorry I didn't pick out the names, but for what I put down here, to real estate, if I get that question correct. Yes, for every problem comes with opportunity. How many of you have observed that we normally used to have rural urban migration, but in the last few years it has been urban to rural migration? I know how many people that have come. Okay, thank you. I'm comfortable standing anyway. I know many people have traveled, relocated from Lagos to Osun, relocated from Oyo to Osun. What do you call that one? It is urban to rural migration. That's the opportunity there. See, I have two offices in Lagos. I have one in Maryland and I have one in Okota. But I don't remember the last time I stayed in my Lagos office. My office is in Lagos because the standard of living here is low. It's coming up gradually. But because it's low, it is cheaper to live here. I have a store here in Osun. If I'm going to have the same building in somewhere in Ikeja, I'm probably going to be renting that space. Although it is my space here, I'm probably going to be renting that place around 150 million. And the same 150 million, I use it to build it here in Osun. So those are the opportunities there. The cost will be cheaper. But the cost being cheap because of the standard of living does not mean that it is a good opportunity. It is an opportunity, but it is not a good one. I hope I'm able to answer that question. And then another question to me, this one is not a question, but I actually put it down. Step to invest in tourism sector in Osun. When my dear brother and is presenting that slide, coincidentally, Erinjesha Waterfall is my own regular place. I don't know how many times I visit that place in a year. And Osun Grove too is also my regular route because I have a property. If I want, one of my houses is around Fonte University area. But I see all these pictures and I love them. They are very lovely. And that takes me back to the intention. When I go to Erinjesha Waterfall, I always see, I've been to Maldives. I understand how it feels. We can have the same scenario in Erinjesha Waterfall, probably. But what are the intention of government towards that? Can you imagine the UNESCO recognized center Osun Grove does not have a good road though. If you enter that road from Better Life area and you want to bust out at Fonte University, you will see hell. How could a World Heritage area that is being recognized by UNESCO does not even have a good road? So the intention needs to go to government. But like I said, I think it is time for us to rethink about PPP. Don't let us wait for government again. Let's turn public-private partnership to private-public partnership. And I think that initiative, I'm going to be working with my brother to see, particularly for Erinjesha Waterfall and the Osun Grove, what we can do regarding that. And then one of my Egbon asked that government being only the business in Oshogbo. I beg to differ, sir. It depends on how you are looking. If you are somebody that is buying soya beans alone from Kwara, soya beans, and you want to have many factories who can buy. If you are into buying of kernel, Ekuro, from let's say Okitipupa, the tons of kernel that we are using in Osun now, today, on daily basis now, is well over 400 metric tons in just about 7 different factories. So 400 metric tons in translation is over 15 trailers a day. So we are always looking for. I went to Kishi, my people are here. We went to Kayama. We came last night looking for soya beans, shea butternut, ori, or igi ori. So it's not here, but it's in Kwara, very close to us. So there are businesses. I tell you, I have some of my client that is doing nothing less than 1 billion naira turnover every month. They don't have anything to do with government. Does Bodipsin has anything to do with government? Does Sumbo have anything to do with government? So it depends on where you are looking. And I tell you, and I challenge you, there are opportunities around you. Stop looking at government. They are time wasters. Sorry, they will waste your time. Don't just leave them. Let them be the one to recognize you and call you. I write proposal for them, but I don't help them to implement. I'm sorry. Our way doesn't align. I'll tell you this is what I feel you should do. You can go ahead and do it. And if you just don't call me to it to implement, because our way doesn't align in that area. So please look right. There are opportunities here, and there is money in Osun. I say it. Then practical forum for businesses in Osun. Unfortunately, I have not seen one. And I believe that is a challenge to all of us, the stakeholders that are running businesses in Osun. If there is none that is the existence, it means we have to create one. And that is a challenge to us. I think we need to think about that. Okay. Possible collaboration for possibility of collaboration with government to achieve business goal is the same thing. At times their intention, see, my mentor used to tell me one thing, that a very beautiful agreement, well written by SAN, can lead you to court if you have a bad intention. But a very good intention without any written agreement could lead you to millions or billions. The intention is number one. The government you are going to, they are having different intention towards what they want to do. And I'll give you a very simple example. The informal sector tax that they are doing in Osun today, there was a time that my company was consulted, just the way we are doing for Lagos State government now. We are taking their informal sector tax from 220 billion to 2 trillion. That's the target that Sanwo-Olu gave us. So what am I trying to say is this: when after we gave all the scenario, I am of the opinion that don't go and tax people that doesn't have money. Now they allocate Iwo Federal Constituency to me. When I get to Iwo, I saw a baba tax law. But how will I do that? So what am I trying to say is that the intention is number one, not only on government side, but us individual as well. And then the last question for me that I put down here is on multiple taxation in Osun. I beg to also differ. I told you that I'm a practical person when it comes to business in Osun. We are not being, go to Ogun State and go to Lagos State, you will understand what thing is, if all of us give a notice, you are asking me to pay. What valuation do you do? He now went back and said, are you a consultant or you are from ministry? He said, I'm a consultant. And how do they appoint this consultant? Maybe that's where I have issue. It is by political, how will I put it, favorism. Somebody that doesn't know anything about how tax works, but he's from one KBC of Kiniko, he's from one, and you will now see them, do touting. They dare not stop me because I have my own craze too. So I will tell you what to do if you don't know what to do. Thank you, but there is no multiple taxation in Osun as far as I'm concerned. In fact, I think we are being under tax. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. All right, I'll give the mic to Doctor to take the question.
Thank you very much. About the question you asked about affordability and accessibility of all these tests. It is very accessible and it's available. But you're talking about the cost. You know, the cost is not something someone can determine. But overall, I will still tell you that prevention is better than cure. So no matter how much you spend, you even spend less on preventive medicine. So that is why it is always good for us to go for screening. I will use this as an example. Let's talk about cervical cancer. It actually has stages. It's as if somebody is going from this place to Ibadan. You know, when you get to Abere, you can easily call that person back, come back to Oshogbo. You have gotten to Odeomu, we can still manage you. You have been to Gbangan, what can we do? You know, but now that you are now in the Iwo Road, what can we do? You're already in Ibadan, it's dead. So that is the condition we see. And that is what we say we should not see. And that is why if it is detected so early, we'll be able to, you know, be able to manage it. When it is, for instance, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5, when there is no solution again. So no matter what you even spend on screening, overall it will still better than something that can claim your life. So the other question you said, awareness about all these tests. This is part of the awareness. There is World Cancer Day where people will, and that's one of the targets of public health, you know, education, creating awareness. We still continue to do awareness, watch things on the television, on the radio, public discussion like this, public talk, and we cannot leave it alone for the government. So that is the essence of something like this. It's a point of contact. So it's a form of information to us. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. All right, engineer.
Thank you very much. The first question that was asked earlier after Barrister Onifade's session, I think is here now. You should be able to answer that, about land grabbing and the likes. So when you see your boss, you just have to step down. Then for the other questions, I think those, about 3 or 4 of them, they kind of have a similar direction. and the direction is implementation. Am I right? Yes, thank you. Fortunately, we put together this kind of conference for exposure and connection, networking. And to my surprise, one of our speakers, Professor Ladele Dauda, yeah, a professor in the making here, agreed that we have a roundtable talk on how we can foster and achieve this project without even considering the government policies and the government's involvement. But needless to say, we still have to consider that because this belongs to the state, and we need an access to it. So when we have people like this as a game changer, like he said during the time he was talking, that he has single-handedly raised over investments of over $25 million to Osun State over the course of 5 years, right? And you can imagine what $25 million is, and that's awesome. Thank you. Then, with that, like he said, he has visited the Maldives before, and traveling has always been my hobby too. And every time I'm going, I ask myself, why can't we have this thing in Nigeria? And that has been a push. So my orientation, my advice is, like you said, we shouldn't work with time wasters. Then let's collaborate as a private sector and see what we can do. A few weeks ago, I had a call from two of my staffs. They visited a government organization, and to my surprise, they were actually asking a private sector, a private firm, to come and partner with them. It should be the other way around. But this is where we find ourselves in Nigeria. The government is now reckoning with private firms. And, you know, for strong players like my boss and Kamud Estate and the likes that decide to stay back in the society, it's for the love. It's definitely not for the money. Thank you very much. Then the next question, he was asking, how was I able to cope with the land grabbing process? Unfortunately, I'm not standing here as a representative of Kamud Estate. I'm representing a quaint concept. So maybe we'll talk about that in private. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, is that all? I think, okay, you have a question.
All protocol duly observed. I am Rashid Abdullah from Stack Engineering and Building Technologies. There is an inner issue, like within everyone, especially among the people moving into the state, regarding agents and real estate managers. The extortion is actually real. There is a friend of mine who offers to buy a land from the agent, said the land was 5 million naira, settling everything in the papers. Fortunately, the man gets to meet the owner of the land, and the owner of the land said he offers the land with papers and everything for 1.5 million naira, and that's buying of the land. For mortgage and rents, you'll be having like 150% of the original price offered, and you have nothing to do with it because all their webs are tangled. If you said you leave this person to go to somewhere else, the person already have the call. It's like the extortion is like you can't just get out of the web, you just have to succumb to it. How can we approach this legally?
All right, thank you. I think I'll have Barrister Onifade take that.
Thank you very much. It's a very good question. Basically, that singular act is a complete fraud. And it's highly criminal in nature. If we are talking about agency fee. We have to face the reality, and I am not monopolizing it. It's mainly for those of us who are lawyers, estate managers, and but the unprofessional agent, I have a very strong belief that they are the one doing that. They are the one doing that kind of illegal act. Now, but the issue is this: some of us, we do something in order to shortchange. You are taking that you want to shortchange lawyer or who are the estate manager, but not knowing that you are shortchanging yourself. The issue is this: the process of getting a land is a gradual process. If you want to buy land, I'm not here to advertise. If you want to buy land, the first thing you have done or you have to do is conduct search. Conduct what? Search. Either from the Ministry of Lands, if you have the document, this can be done by a lawyer. But because some of us, we don't want to pay our lawyers, we don't want to pay lawyer, and not knowing that you will run into problem. And if you are to pay your lawyer just 10 naira, by the time you run into problem, when the matter get to court, you know how much I will charge you. Instead of you to pay 10 naira at the initial stage and get everything perfect, but you don't want to pay lawyer, so you'll be dealing with quack agent. And this act that you're talking about, I doubt it any lawyer can just risk. Because you see, one thing we don't know, that people don't know, I will tell you today. We are also subjected to a body who can punish us. Don't think that we lawyers, we are untouchable. No, we are touchable. If you find any lawyer involved in any corrupt practice and any illegal dealing, write a letter in form of petition. Go to his branch, Nigeria Bar Association branch, in his jurisdiction or our jurisdiction. If they didn't treat your case very well, go to the national body of the NBA. They will take it up. It can be suspended. His certificate of court to back and be withdrawn. But that is why it is very, very difficult for we lawyers and the estate managers to involve in this kind of. It's criminal. It's criminal. And I'm not saying that we don't have some lawyers who do it, but thank you very much.
Thank you very much. On that note, we are drawing close to the end of this event, but I think there's something important that we need to do. Today doubles as the birthday of the convener. That's Engineer Dr. Adeleke Adekola. Can we put our hands together for him? Instead of, celebrating and doing a dinner out of love for the state, he's putting together this conference. I think it's not too bad if we sing happy birthday song for him. Yes or no? All right, so to lead us in that capacity, most precious, please help me as we sing the special happy birthday song for him, for putting this together on his birthday to push the state of Osun forward. Let's do this quickly. Can we appreciate Engineer Dr. Adeleke Adekola one more time? All right, I'll plead with us to please rise while he's seated. Thank you. You will rise, so don't rise. It's your birthday. Sit. No. It's your birthday. Sit down. All right, let's do it quickly. We can sing along.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord
We can
bless
sing along.
you.
We can sing along.
May the good Lord, may the good Lord, may the good Lord bless you. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us.
And so say all of us, hooray! And so say all of us, hooray!
For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us.
Eep, eep, eep. Eep, eep, eep. Eep, eep, eep. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for the next 10 to 15 minutes, like he said while speaking, it's time to meet new persons. You never can tell, maybe the next person to invest in your business is in this hall. So at this time, Precious will sing for the next 10 minutes while we just move around. You can meet, I'm meeting you personally. I'm meeting everyone on this table and collecting your numbers. You are my destiny. So just meet new person. Meet a new, just walk around. So let's just do that very quickly for the next 15 minutes. Let's do that. So just walk around, meet a new person, ask what they do, take their numbers. There's DD Interior. I can see Armstrong. I can see Joseph Akobi. There are big men in this building. Mr. Sholala Niyo is a big man too. Engineer, I'm just seeing you clearly. He's a big man also. Yeah. So please, this is a time. This is an opportunity for someone somewhere. So you can meet. Okay, Precious. Let's do it now quickly. You can come to the stage and meet our speakers as well. Okay, I can see Mr. Shola coming already. I trust him. So you can meet our speakers. You can come up stage. We are not done yet. It's just time to meet new persons, take their numbers, ask what they do, exchange cards. There's DD Interior, a very strong interior decorator in the state of Osun. Joseph Akobi, a very strong strategist and a politician. So please, quickly, Precious, let's go. Just entertain us for the next 10 minutes. Sir, don't go yet too. I'm not taking your number. Don't go yet too. I need your number. Then you're not leaving yet, sir. You're not leaving yet. We are still, the event is still on. I'm just giving us 10 to 15 minutes to relax a little bit. Precious, let's do it.
Wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ ló bá mi ṣe ṣọmọ. Wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ ló bá mi ṣe ṣọmọ. Ohun tí mo ti wá láti jọjọ ìwà, bàbá bá mi ṣe. Wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ ló bá mi ṣe ṣọmọ. Ohun tí mo fi wá láti jọjọ ìwà, bàbá bá mi ṣe. Wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ ló bá mi ṣe ṣọmọ. Ayé ò fẹ́ o, ayé ò fẹ́. Ayé ò fẹ́ ká gbẹ̀rù ká sọ, ayé ò fẹ́. Orí ẹni ní bá ní gbẹ̀rù ńlá dórí. Ayé ò fẹ́ ṣọmọ. Ayé ò fẹ́. 'Cause they're waiting on you. They're waiting on you to fall. They're waiting on you, hey. They're waiting on you to die. Just don't give up, don't give up. Just stay strong, stay strong. Wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ ló bá mi ṣe ṣọmọ. Just don't give up, don't give up. Just stay strong, stay strong. Wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ ló bá mi ṣe ṣọmọ. Sing. Some say we should make you run down. Them day we should make you run down. Adekule, Baba má jọ̀mú mi, Mama jọ̀mú mi. Ayé tí mo wá bàbá mi ò fẹ́. Ayé tí mo wá bàbá mo fẹ́ ra mọ́tò. Ayé tí mo fẹ́ bàbá mo fẹ́ kọ́lé mọ́lé. Adekule ọlọ́pẹ́ máa ó lẹ̀. Ọmọ ọlọ́pẹ́ máa ó lẹ̀. Máa ó lẹ̀. Ọmọ ọlọ́pẹ́ Ajayi maole, Doctor Shama ole, Elokwe maole. Say, man get tonight till I fade out. If the vibe no pure on my way out, pull a ball, anytime step out. The men them outside with no day house, no little force with no day house. When we see the mullah we don't spray out, then God say the maga don't pay out. Oh, see, I'm ahead of them, I show you. I'm a fucking mala, I don't need me. No man fit talk shit to me, they do me, you go let go. I'm on a me, the leader, show you. I'm a fucking mala, I don't need me. No man fit talk shit to me, they do me, you go let go. Say, oh, well, I'm on my way. Láti Jayo, lálẹ́ Friday, ṣé o mọ̀ ẹ́? I'm on my way. Láti Jayo, lálẹ́ Friday. Say I know they want to see me fall, but I dey stampede, I know they follow. Ọ̀pẹ mi ọmọ babolo. If you don't know, make you ask I do go. Bedu the body, I've been doing this, it don't do. Ìbànújẹ́ o, kó má ṣe wá sọ́dọ̀ wa. Whatever you do, oh say you dey make me rubber. I don't get time for wahala, I dey Ibiza. I'm on my way, láti Jayo, lálẹ́ Friday, ṣé o mọ̀ ẹ́? I'm on my way, láti Jayo, lálẹ́ Friday. Say he has made me glad, I am so glad, I will rejoice for he has made me glad. He has made me glad, I am so glad, I will rejoice for he has made me glad. Say you have done so much for me, I cannot tell it all. Say no more. If I have 10,000 tons, well it won't be enough.